Alright, this is a quick demo for the release 2.4 for Atlas. Two major features to go over real quickly. The first of which is a import widget overhaul. So on our last major release, we did some changes regarding how data is stored and structured in the JSON. You can read more about that on the releases page in the GitHub repository. This time around, we bring the import widget into the modern world. So what that now looks like is when you come over here to import your waypoints, you can hop in and select JSON file. I'll grab a current one to start. When you load your data in, you may get a note, hey, this has been outdated. I've added the ability, it will automatically handle data migrations. So this previous one is from version 2.3, just our last version. In this case, it's just a version update, but this will also handle any version 1 files you may have from before the major JSON restructure. And migrate data. It'll migrate your data. You can save it if you want to save a copy of the newly migrated data. This does not edit your existing JSON file that you just uploaded. It's all internal changes, which means that you don't have to worry about making a backup of the JSON file you imported, but you can download the newly migrated data if you want. On the right here, we see our new import widget. Not only do you get what version the file's currently on, which should pretty much always be the current version if you get this far, but you can also you've got a lot more information about both points and vectors and potentially future objects if we get there someday. And you get to see how many points you have in total, how many points of those are user made. This is based on the point name. For instance, if I see a point called Origin Station 13, I know that that's probably not a user-made point. So I just have a small note on how many points seem to be user-made, and then how many vectors are in the current selection. So let's say we've got 39 selection conflicts. If we hop over to select points, you can see the various point groups. Since points have groups associated with them, that's how this is organized. We can pop down and we can see there are... Let me reset the selection here. Looks like it might have been a little bit bugged. We can see if I select a point, it'll flag it as red. There was a point conflict. And what that means is that the ID of the point you're going to import conflicts with an ID you currently have in your system. Now, that's normally fine. What you can do is you can decide how you want to handle conflicts. You can either skip or replace, and I have information here that outlines that. And then vectors have a very similar UI, except vectors don't have groups currently. Hey, what are you doing? Stop. Stop. Apologies. Cat. So that's the new import widget. It's very straightforward, to the point. If you have any problems with importing data, let me know. But as long as you have things backed up on your computer with a JSON file, you shouldn't run into any serious issues. The second major feature is the Celestials widget. This was requested by a user who made out a good point that it was fairly annoying to have to pan around the whole map and then find the tiny moons out there and then double click them to see them. It was kind of a pain. So on the left here, just below our coordinate conversion, we've added a Celestials list. You might click it and see what nothing happened. That's because it's behind the bar. This just gives you a very basic list of all the celestial objects in the system. You can click them to jump to them, and theoretically view info about them. That might be a bug. The info widget will pop up when this guy will pop up and display the information as needed. Yeah, so it's just meant to be a simplistic list. It does conflict with the area for the coordinate conversion, so if you have your coordinate conversion window open, you won't be able to have the celestial list open at the same time. But just so that it's easier to jump between these various moons and stuff. A note on the moons as a general, they're still currently placed on the horizontal plane. We haven't updated vertical distances for them yet, though we are close. With the newest release of capital ships and this big update, I wanted to get this stuff out first ASAP to help make this more usable for you guys. If you are flying around in Starbase right now with the motivation and you feel like helping me collect coordinates, whether it be the other various stations within the safe zone, or potentially measuring some vectors and directions so we can better place these planets here on this map and update things, that would be fantastic. Feel free to hop over to the Discord. Stop it. What are you doing? Stop. Goodness gracious. Feel free to hop in the Discord. You can find more information and where to find that stuff not only in the Reddit post that you probably found this video at, or on the repository. I have links to the Discord floating all over the place. You can also find it on the map itself. I have a link to both the Discord and the GitHub at the bottom left. If you have any problems, feel free to reach out to me directly on Discord. You can find my information floating around, and enjoy the new update in Starbase, as I'm sure we all will.